So here we are, we're looking at bottom drains again. So this is a bit of a follow-up, and one of the things I want to point out about this pond is that the bottom drain doesn't have a purge valve. Now let's have a look at the filtration. Obviously it's winter, so they've not been eating very much, so the water's really clear. The pond's actually looking great. As you can see with the fish's activity, it's quite cold. It's a pretty cold day today. It's about 3 degrees out, and obviously it's not covered or anything. It's got the big shower on, so it's pretty well exposed, but they're happy enough. Not had any trouble over winter. But anyway, that's not the point. I wanted to show you the actual drain. So this filter is, obviously we've got the Nexus on, and we've got the bottom drain comes up just there and straight into the Nexus, so there's no purge valve. But when you clean a Nexus, obviously you can run the water straight into it, and I'll show you that in a bit. But it's not enough, and I'm going to prove to you today that it's not enough at all, and that it'll actually be really mucky down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my pump, and I'm going to purge this system properly and show you what muck comes out. So what I'm going to be doing in a second is a little bit over the top. It's more to prove the point on the video. So what you can do is, if you've just got a little pressure washer and one of these, you can put this on the end, and then this will run down, this little jetter line will run down wherever the nozzle is, it's hiding from it, there it is. That'll run down and it jet washes the line out, and that's a great way to do it. But obviously if I do that, then all the muck's going to run into the Nexus, which is fine because it'll just go down drain, but I won't be able to show you what muck were actually in it. The way I'm doing it, I'm just doing it so I can fill this tub with all the muck that were in that bottom drain line. So basically what I've done is I've stuck this pipe in the Nexus's inlet, so it's stuck down here, and I'm basically just going to put this powerful pump on it and suck a load of water out in it really fast, so that any muck that's settled in the bottom, so there's one bottom drain in the middle, any muck that's settled in that entire line, including inside the drain itself, will get sucked up and then straight out and get kicked out. Hopefully not too many stones. I'm presuming there will be a couple, but my pump might not like that. So I'm going to get this running and then get back to you because it's cold, so this will be a pain to get started. Right, I've got it running. Let's see if we can get some out in it. So as you can see, we've got a bit of muck out, so not actually as bad as I expected, but then again I did this just before winter and they haven't been fed really since, so it's not actually that bad. If you did this after summer, it'd be absolutely horrendous. And you've got to bear in mind that the filtration system has just been cleaned as well, so that muck is literally the stuff that is settled in the pipe and won't move without a purge valve on it. So, you know, a Nexus can purge pretty decently into its chamber, and I'll show you that in a second. It can purge pretty well, but obviously it's not quite enough, so it would have benefited from, right as this come out of the floor here, a T-junction on it that went into this drain here with a ball valve on. It would have made that a lot easier, and but there we go. So basically I'm giving this pond a bit of a spring clean, so I've gone around it with pressure washer to make sure it's really clean as possible inside, so that hopefully we can get everything out. Obviously there's a little bit of blanket weed build up, as you can see, with the greenness of the water, but not too bad. It has already been cleaned before I've gone around it with pressure washer, so what I'm going to do now is just drain all that out. So there we go, that's the water draining out of that side, and it goes straight down the drain. And just to prove, you can reasonably well purge this. So there we go, it purges quite nicely. when it gets going. So it's got a pretty decent purge on it, but it's just not enough. It's not enough to get rid of the heavy things, and it really needs a purge valve for that. The Nexus just doesn't allow enough water to flow because it's just too high to let full water flow. So it's not really very ideal, that bit. So I'm just going to pressure wash that and I'll get back to you. So here we are at another pond. Now this one has got a 2-inch purge valve on it, but it's got rubber boots on here. So what I can do if I really want to get all the muck out is take this rubber boot off and then just open the system out, because the main valve is before the purge valves. So I can shut that off like I've done and then take this off. So what I'm going to do at a minute is just open these. They open. And drain the system, and you can see quite a bit of muck comes out, so they do purge quite well, but I bet when I open the rest of the system I'll get a lot more out. Just don't want to overspill it at the minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these boots off and get back to you and show it a proper purge and get everything cleaned out the system, ready for basically a spring clean, ready for a summer's worth of work. So here we go, we're taking these drains off. So basically, let me remember which way. We open them, and then the feet get wet. Move this all out of the way. So, and then take your 4-inch. Oh, it's cold this water, I'm telling you. Right, let's get it flowing. Look at the muck coming out of that, look. That's what you want to see. Now that is how you want to purge a system. Yeah? Look at it, flowing straight out the door. Right, let's get it turned off. So even though the valves are turned off, the water that's coming out now is actually a bit of backflow through the system from the pumps. You can't really help that. Doesn't matter, it's all a good water change. So while I'm here as well, one of the other things to purge on a tank like this is these bottom drains on the actual filtration. So this is the Helix media on these Aways drums. They're never usually that mucky, but you get a bit out. There we go. So. Don't give them all a nice drain. Cleans the floor out as well, that's one of the other advantages. Yeah. Close that one. Close these two. Don't need to drain them too particularly, but this one I do need to drain because that's the drum filter, which I'm going to give a little bit of a clean to in a minute. So there we go, we're all nice and clean in here. So what I've done is I took the segments out of this drum filter, as you can see, all these, and the great is, it's one of my favourite things about these Aways drum filters is that you can remove the segment and just give them a quick pressure wash and put them back. Although you don't need a powerful pressure washer, you don't need it too close because they will rip, because I've done it before on mine. But there we go, so when you take all them segments out as well, you can get right into the drum, you can get to the pump, everything, and you can just give this a nice pressure wash and make it all look nice and pretty. So now all I've got to do is put them segments back in, and we should be good. That should be it. Clean as a whistle, this system, ready for going. Right, so why was this bottom drain muckier than the others? So this one's the one that's furthest away. We'll have a look at the pond in a second. So this one's the one that's furthest away from the filter. So it's, if this one starts to block, then the water will prefer to come through the other ones, or the skimmer and the other bottom drain, which is closer. So basically it started to block, and this, opening this, well, it does move a lot of water, it's not enough. So what does happen is when you open this, it also drains water from this side of the, you know, it back drains it, so not all of the water that's rushing out of there will actually be coming down your pipework. But when you take the 4-inch line off, and obviously I'd already drained this, it does put full suction on your drain, and that's why it cleaned out all the muck. So it would have been ideal to put 4-inch valves on this, and if it does continue to persist being an issue, you probably will get 4-inch ball valves on it. The reason that I think it's blocked at the minute is because this pond had a bit of a blanket weed problem and the drains weren't working at full capacity anyway, so that were an issue. Obviously it's cleared now, but you know, if we don't get any more blanket weed problems like we did before, it should be fine with these purge valves. But you know, it would have been better with a 4-inch one on. But fortunately, I can do that, and it can have a 4-inch one anytime it likes. So there we go. So this is a look at the pond itself. So you've got your two bottom drains there, which you can see because that's where the air's coming up. There's one on the left and one on the right, and there's also a skimmer in that corner there. So there we go, that's been a quick run around of me purging some pond tanks, and I hope you've sort of got the gist when I say they really need to have a purge valve on it the same size as the actual pipework, otherwise you never really get the full purge. And so there we go. If you like this video, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this, then please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, then please put them down below. And I think some of my future videos are going to be on taking that pond down that we saw in the first part of this video, and a look at the way it was set up. So I'll see you in the next video.